let's go to Flippy.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
All right, folks, it's time for the Flippy update. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We talk about Flippy so we can explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways the robots are taking over the world and how there's nothing we can do about it. Of course, if you've been listening to the Flippy updates for a while now, you understand it's not just about robots and their new talents and the new ways that they can put us in the ground, but also about how we're coming to this point within, the advent of robotics. Mm-hmm. Sure, the proliferation of robots. That it seems to be that we are no longer guiding their trajectory. In fact, we've seen how the very existence and placement of robots throughout society is not answering a need, but sort of creating the roadmap for the sort of human societal development. I don't know a better way to put it or more of a metaphor, but the roles seem to have flipped in a way. Now, this is coming from Yahoo.com, Yahoo Finance to be particular, and being mirrored from Business Insider. The headline is warehouse giants like Amazon and others are desperate for more robots, but human workers worry they make the job more dangerous.
Dun, dun, filthy dun. Humans, get out of the way. Let the robots take over.
Yeah, and it gives a bit of a breakdown on robots. Well, here's just they sort of set the scene like this. As a new workday dawns in the warehouse, workers take their places around the floor to start their shifts. So too do their mechanical counterparts. Robots roll away from the charging docks where they've been sleeping all night, receive their first instructions about the day's responsibilities, and get to work. And then it goes on a bit of a history about, robots becoming sort of commonplace in Amazon warehouses, a bit of a history even reaching back to the 1960s. And it mentions this company called Zebra Technologies, and they are sort of a leader in the industry, having worked with Amazon to, help integrate some robots into the whole process, which we're all used to now. And I'm going to start at about the fifth paragraph, Guns. Zebra projected that in the next 5 years, nearly all warehouses would employ some form of robot automation to keep from being swallowed by a tidal wave of online orders. And with all that automation comes questions about whether the robots actually save workers time or just put them under more pressure, in addition to more injury risk. And remember this paragraph because it kind of it kind of gives away the punchline way here at the top. Jim Lawton, Zebra's vice president and general manager of robotics automation, told Insider some of his company's clients wanted to skip a pilot program and just get the robots into their buildings. Quote, I've had somebody say to me, I don't even care about the return on investment anymore, he said, adding that customers said they couldn't meet orders and needed help. So he's referring to warehouses not even bothering to try to test the robots in the real world, don't even care about the return on investment. Really these business fundamentals for making a big shift in your business structure. They don't even care. They just want the robots in there.
I'm for the robots.
Yeah, which is just historically, just like a really good situation when you're putting dangerous, automated, autonomous killing machines in warehouses in the workplace around other humans. You don't even care how effective they are or how profitable they are. You're just trying to fill your warehouse with automation. Yeah. Historically, certainly that couldn't be a problem in the future, in the past or now the future.
Yeah, the part that jumped out at me for sure was the part where it said that I don't even care about the return on investment, because that really just shows like, the money is not even the issue. It's really just, we just want robots.
Well, they can't even operate there. And this is all part of the problem. Their needs are so great. Again, not for profit, just to keep operating.
Going. Yeah.
They cannot keep going without more robots. And so again, you kind of see how the robots are setting the pace. The pace is such that they don't even care about the money factor. They can't even keep up without more robots. Yeah. I'm going to skip down about 3 more paragraphs to the subheadline. As automation rises, so do the number of reported warehouse injuries. You might think that with robots fulfilling more of the manual labor, especially carrying heavy loads, humans would get injured less often. Though correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation, multiple reports have found that injury rates in Amazon warehouses have increased as more of its warehouses have become automated. Then in parentheses, the retail giant says the rates have increased because of more accurate reporting. Oh, sure.
Yeah, these robots have been hurting people, the same amount of people for years. It's just the surveillance apparatus is a little bit better now.
At counting them now. We used to not count the robo injuries, but now, whatever
funny.
you say. Then it tells a story about an employee who was injured because of the fault of a robot, which I will skip, although I pray the best for him. Then it says, looking back, Gosvener, who was the employee who got injured, says it's clear why the rates of automation and warehouse injuries appear to be rising hand in hand. It's not so much that robots are running into humans and causing mayhem, he said, but rather a consequence of what the robots' arrival portends, an accelerating, ever more unforgiving pace of work and workplace culture.
Yeah.
And that's the key right there, is even the introduction of a few little robots, adding productivity, shortening work times, or shortening, the time between a task given and a task completed. They don't take breaks. They don't have sick days. They don't have, all these sorts of things. It's simply the existence of these robots in the workplace is causing a danger to employees, not because of, collisions, but because the robots are setting a standard that is impossible for humans to keep up with. And when humans are trying to keep up with the pace of the robots, or rather the pace expected by their bosses, and their bosses being influenced by the pace of robots, that's when they're getting hurt. And we've seen them get exhausted. We've seen them skip bathroom breaks. We've seen, especially Amazon employees, use bags and bottles instead of toilets, and just trying to keep up with the ever more harsh, frenetic quotas that are almost literally being set by robots.
Yeah.
A manager sees how fast something could be done by a robot, and then that becomes the standard, and then it's up to the human worker to keep up. And that's the real danger. So I think this is a wonderful example of kind of the X factor, the phantom danger of these robots. Not that we're, arming them with machetes and guns and stuff like that, because we are doing that. Oh, we certainly are doing that.
Oakland.
But on a broader scale, they are setting a standard that humans cannot meet. And that is the basis for the idea that humans will become obsolete. Not because humans can't keep up with human stuff, it's that humans can't keep up with the pace set by the robots. And I think this might be, by the numbers, the most deadly aspect of robots in the workplace.
Yeah, I would agree. And in any team or corporate environment, there are always those who set the example. Lead by example. common thing you hear, and especially like sports teams and stuff, where there's one guy who sets the tone. You know,
Right.
sometimes they call him the head of the snake, ironically enough.
Right.
And so when automation comes in, when robots come in and they have this unforgiving, relentless work ethic or the appearance of work ethic, then humans are going to be weeded out because we're slow. And it's been the theme of the robotic takeover. But, you know, maybe giving those robots some kind of a sympathetic response when they pummel someone would be a good feature, you know, just to humanize them a little bit. Like, I am sorry. I just, I'm so dedicated to my work, and then carry on, you know, as they chop off your leg or something and they go by.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think that getting your leg chopped off is like the least dangerous thing about them at this point, but that might make us feel better.
That's what I'm saying.
Agree.
The emotional and the motivational part, you know, they can become motivational speakers if they inherently, they obviously perform better, but instead of
do I have an article for you coming
putting
up for
humans
Friday?
down, you know, they can be like, do better, Basil. I believe in you. More podcasts, please.
Yeah. I think this good insight, Gons. Thank you.
Speaking
There you
of
go.
insight.
Thank you, everybody. That's your Flippy update for the day.